Well, g'day ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Gavin and Kim channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the studio that I'm filming in right now. We had it built in 2020 during the midst of the pandemic, and it was also during Kim's cancer treatment. One of the things we were a little bit worried about was, do we continue to do, to plan to make the studio, which we've called it. It's our studio in our backyard, where we not only film our YouTube videos, mainly for the Cheese channel, but also do the editing, do all the refills for Little Green Workshop, as in stuff for soap making, bath bomb making, and candle making. But it's also a very pleasant place to work. So let me take you on a tour of our studio in 2024. So in July 2020, we decided to get the backyard studio built. It was during Kim's cancer treatment, and we didn't regret that one little bit because it kept our mind off of, the treatment. So watching these guys build it, they built it in about 2 weeks from putting the foundations down and the prefab, and it cost about $67,000 Australian. That was for the building itself and painting the building. The fit out probably cost about an extra $10,000 to $15,000. We didn't really record how much it cost. That includes all of the workbenches, kitchen workbenches, and the tables and the computers and the racking system and all that sort of stuff. But go and check out the previous video called Our Backyard Studio. You can see it takes up a nice chunk of our backyard, but it is certainly well worth it. So, fast forward to today, or January 2024, and we have fully landscaped the outside of the studio. It looks absolutely amazing. We put a lot of plants in, a lot of pots, some tables, and we just treat it. That side of the garden is basically what I call our beer garden. But there's the front entrance. You can see that we've painted it all, made sure that it's all the wood's lovely and stained. I think that's cedar. And then you can see all of the windows, and the plants have all grown around it in the 4 years or 3.5 years since we've had it built. And you can see there, that's the paved area now we have, instead of all that muddy quagmire that used to be there. And that's what I call our beer garden. So a lovely little space to relax in any time of the year except when it's bucketing down with rain. The studio really has enhanced the look and feel of our backyard. So there's our table we sit at, and round the corner we used to have a pool pump just there, if you saw it in the aerial shot. And we got our pool man, good looking pool, and that's all landscaped as well. That was done years ago, but yeah, it's still pretty good. The pool's very functional. It's very clean. Well, not there, it isn't, but it is clean. We moved the pool pump around to the back. There's the air conditioner condenser unit there. Nice little sitting area. And there's the pool pump in there, right at the back in a soundproof box, so our neighbours don't hear the pool pump if we're running it at night time. So it does dampen a lot of the sound. There's the back window looking into the stock room. And there's my little friends following me everywhere. Now, Bonnie and Hamish actually have their own channel, did you know? It's called Hamish and Bonnie the Westies. And you can see it on YouTube. I'll leave a link down below. So that's the windows for my computer, and that's the windows for Kim's desk. And this is just a lovely little entertaining area and relaxing area. Anyway, back into the main part of the studio. So you can see my clay oven there, just briefly. That has a separate video on this channel as well. So into the studio, and one of the first things you see when you open the sliding door is this lovely bit of wall art there. Very cool. Open up the sliding door, and you can see the first thing is Kim's art desk. So we managed to move that from the lounge room and pop that in there. She does all her arty creations and illustrations and all that sort of stuff there. Then over to the other side, is our tea and coffee area. This is for the workers when we're working diligently, editing videos or refilling stock or what have you, and some of Kim's decoration touches there, which is lovely. And of course a rubbish bin, which gets emptied every week, and a little fridge for drinks and milk and all that sort of stuff, and a microwave for melting waxes and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, moving down the side, and this kind of looks familiar to some people who watch the channel, and you'll see this is part of the set for Little Green Workshops and for all the cheese videos. And if I move back a little bit, you can see that this is what you normally see when I do a talking head video. There you go, there's the center console that I do all the taste tests on and all that sort of stuff, and yeah, that's the view you get. And I'll show you the camera we do that on when we get into the in-depth part of the studio tour. Then moving along, we have the filling station. So we've got a impact sealer there, we've got a scale which has been properly calibrated, we've got all the little bags, and that's where we fill up things like flowers and bath bomb ingredients and all the stuff that's in Kim's storeroom / junk room at the back there. So for storage of some of the cheese stuff, we've got molds and kits and stuff on these shelves here, and they all hang out and are part of the props for my live streaming / editing setup as well. You can see there's the set there that you'll see normally, and I'll show you a little bit of that in a second. There's my very comfortable chair that I'm sitting in right now, and there is my streaming / editing setup. It's very functional as far as streaming goes, and I'll take you into all the bits. That's what you normally see when you see a live stream. That's the reverse view, of course, but there it is with my massive pimped out PC, ultra widescreen. And let's have a look at some of the components, shall we? Now this is not sponsored, but I'll put links in the video description below. So just move that mic out of the way. Now the main streaming camera I'm using is the Sony A6400 camera, and I got this because of the autofocus is just exceptional. So I use this as a webcam basically. It's a streaming device. I plug it into the mixer, which I'll show you in a second, which has all of the inputs, and there it is there. There's the AV Matrix mixer that I use. I can have 4 HDMI inputs into it, plus audio tracks as well can go into it, and that's what I cut my live stream with, or change the scenes with, if I'm changing cameras. Now there is a lens on this. This is a very special lens. It's a Sigma autofocus 16mm f1.4 specifically for the Sony camera, and that gives me that really wide field of view for live streaming and close-up shots, which is really good. Now the control center for the software that I use the Stream Deck. And this Stream Deck is a newer version. It's got some knobs for lights and controls all of the lighting that you'll see in a second. Also, I can control the volume of the stream. Now the keyboard that I'm using is a Logic keyboard, and it's designed for Adobe Premiere Pro. You notice all the colored keys there. That has shortcuts for when I'm editing, and it is one of the most useful tools that I bought for this entire setup, so it makes editing so much easier. You'll also notice the monitor is just sticks out like a sore thumb. Fantastic for editing and sometimes for gaming. It is a Philips Brilliance 499p. I don't know if they're obsolete, but they are very good monitors. Great color accuracy as well. Got a little Alexa show there. And you can see that I have my, just charging there, are my wireless Go 2 microphone. These are wireless microphones. I put the receiver onto the camera and the 2 transmitters I use around the studio for recording my voice, like this. So the PC itself is a custom built AMD Ryzen 7 3800X 8-core processor with an AMD Radeon graphics card in there. It's got enough grunt to process all the videos. I've got a 2.5 gigabit per second switch, and there is an Elgato capture card there which takes the output of the AV matrix and puts it into the computer via USB, so I can control it via the streaming software OBS. And there's the Rode Video Mic Go 2, which I'm using for this voiceover, which has not only 3.5mm output but also USB, and I'm actually using the USB now for the recording. Great little microphone, and it is really clear. So the lights that I'm using are the Elgato Key Light Studio. They're an LED panel that has been diffused, and I've got one either side of me when I'm streaming, so it gives me a nice light there. You can see there's the second one there, and that's all mounted on a single pole tripod type thing that's bolted to the desk. And there's some lovely artwork in the studio. Kim bought that for me, and you can see this one's from David. He sent it to me. It's a picture of Wallace and Gromit with a piece of his Wensleydale made from my recipe on his knee. It's a great photo, and Kim framed it for me. There we go. That's the computer or streaming / editing setup. It's a very interesting. Now, there is another main camera, which you'll see in a minute, that I do the primary stuff, but that's where Bonnie sits. She's always sitting down there, which is fabulous, and Hamish just sits in the cheesy chair of wisdom. So we have wireless out in the studio as well. This is the Asus RT-AC67U router. I have another one that's inside in the office, and this is one of the routers that give us a very good reception out here for all the devices that we use. So it is in a mesh formation, so I can get wireless everywhere. Now this is the main camera that I use. It is a Panasonic Lumix G9, the first version. Autofocus, not that good, but manual focus is beautiful, and it has some great images. And this is what I show when I'm doing all of the taste tests. The main camera video that I do stand up talking to, and it's on a Manfrotto tripod there. Now moving right along, there is the LED panels that I use, not only in the kitchen, they're just portable. They're not diffuse, well, they've got a diffuser in front of them, but they work very well, and they got batteries, so they're fine. And we've got the air conditioner there and a great big decal on the wall, which is very cool. Then we move along the desk. This is Kim's little work area. She's got a laptop there, Dell laptop, which is highly spec'd, and it helps her. And if I need to edit on the road, then I use that. That's her little area there. Very nice with the sparkly bottle. Cheesy chair of wisdom, and then back, of course, to Kim's art desk. And a doggo standing outside. I don't know how. They're just sitting there, standing there waiting for me to open the door. Anyway, there is the main room once again, and we think it is fitted out just perfectly for us. So back to Gav for some final commentary. So there you have it. That's the full 2024 studio tour. The question on your lips is probably, was it worth it, in my opinion? I think it certainly was. Like I said before, we do a lot of filming out here. We just hang out in this space. I do a lot of editing out here on my computer, which you've seen. Plus, like I said before at the start, we do a lot of refills, and it helps the business keep running. It's a good space to do all those things that you don't want to do in your house. This is part on our land. We only have 790 square meters of land, and this fits snugly down in the back corner next to the swimming pool, as you saw. It is a remarkable space to work in. I really enjoy the vibe in here, and it is a great place to get away and segregate business from home life, especially when you work from home like Kim and I do. It is a great place just to get your business head on and just focus on business stuff. So, thank you for joining me for this tour of the studio in 2024. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave us a comment and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content similar to this. Well, thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and I'll see you next time.